The Last of Us. I don't even know where to begin with this one. It was incredible. I got it on Friday. I didn't have that much time to play it over the weekend, but I still managed to squeeze it in and get that roughly 14-hour campaign done. Oh, it was awesome. I loved every minute of it. It was difficult, challenging, definitely. A lot of fun, very engaging, so emotional. It was a very powerful game. This is a groundbreaking moment for the gaming industry. If people want to be taken seriously, this is an extremely serious, powerful, grown-up story. The journey of Ellie and Joel was just amazing. Now I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to have some spoilers, so you're warned right now. My favorite moment in the game, I would have to say the whole winter campaign, which is funny because at first I was kind of annoyed by it because, you know, you just start out, Joel just got hurt, he got basically impaled by a metal pipe, and now you're playing as Ellie, and in the back of my head I'm thinking, I know he's alive. He has to be alive, right? Because there was pictures of Winter Joel and like the Winter Joel avatar that you could get with a certain pre-order. So I'm thinking he's got to be alive. There's no way he's dead. But you keep playing as her, and you're following around this deer, and you kind of get into some more problems. And I knew at some point those guys, I think David, I knew at some point he was going to do something weird. I didn't trust him. I knew he was going to kind of screw us over at some point. And he did, you know, I guess, kind of, in a way. He almost let you go, and that was really cool of him. But then, no, he sent his guys back after you. And he is an awesome villain. For that essentially to be the last kind of boss battle, I mean, I don't really know if there's any real boss battles. I mean, that's a boss battle, I guess. And then that one time you face that bloater, I guess, is a boss battle as well. Basically, him as the main villain in a way, or at least the most prominent villain, was awesome. He was great because he was a sick, twisted character, disgusting character, and you knew right away there was something weird about this guy. And hey, he's a pedophile. So that's fun. That kind of battle between him and Ellie, where she's sneaking around, having to do everything she can, put everything into it just to get out of this alive. It was great. And the emotion of Ellie with the machete just destroying David. I loved it. I loved it. That whole winter campaign is one of my favorite moments. Switching back and forth between Joel and Ellie and trying to get to the same point and just being unsure of how it was going to go. You really honestly did not know if Ellie was ever going to be the same after that. And really, she probably isn't. You could see it in the next one where they get into the spring and she's staring at that deer, symbolizing the deer that led her to David. And that was awesome. How sad and depressed she was. It just shows that the little girl is not the same anymore. You know, the world, the harshness of the world has changed her forever. And then it was just sad. You know, you knew at that point the journey was coming to an end. You made it to Salt Lake City. You knew they couldn't have been even further. They had to be there. And then the greatest moment, you know, that was the storyline of the winter was my favorite story part of the game. But just to stand there, stood back, just seeing Ellie and Joel and giraffes. And just how they're enjoying the beauty that's left in this completely destroyed world. It was an amazing moment. Amazing moment for video games everywhere in the whole medium. But just to sit there and not want it to continue. I literally sat there and let the music play for, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Just enjoying them there, being sad that I knew it was going to come to an end. It was weird. It was a very bittersweet moment because you got to this journey and you're very attached to these characters. You want to get them to the end. You want to be able to save humanity. And just not being able to continue just yet because you don't want it to come to an end. Which leads to the ending, which I already did a write-up about the ending, and I'll have a link to that down below, of my first thoughts on the ending, I guess. But I'll get to it here. I loved it. I thought the ending was perfect because Joel is a flawed character. He was flawed from the very beginning, and he did what any person I think would do. They would try and do everything they can to protect this person they love for almost an entire year, probably, 6 to 7 months, which is not almost an entire year. But for, somewhere around that area, this is the only person really he had, because he didn't trust anyone that really came into their lives for those moments. And he doesn't trust people, The worst and the hardest enemies in this game were not your clickers. They weren't the bloaters. They were humans. You couldn't trust them. They would actively hunt you down. They made your life horribly difficult. And he doesn't trust the humans. He doesn't trust the Fireflies. And the Fireflies prove to be kind of shady. They're willing to sacrifice this little girl to maybe save mankind. No. I would have, if given a choice, I would have done exactly that. I would have gotten her out of there, taken anybody down who got in the way. Nobody would stop me from saving her. And that's the big thing about this game. It's this journey between these two. And the game is about protecting the one you love. How far are you willing to go to save what you love? And honestly, is humanity even worth saving in this game? It's pretty deteriorated. Are the Fireflies going to be able to save it? Are they going to be able to develop this cure, kind of mass produce it in this 20-year-old, deteriorated hospital? I don't know. I don't think that they would do that great of a job of it. And adding on to that, you just saw David and his people and how horrible they were. Are you going to be able to redeem those people? People who've gone through that, are they going to be able to come back and be okay in normal society again? I mean, you have somebody who is basically a cannibal now, and the first moment this guy sees a young girl, he instantly sees her as his personal prize. And this is just one specific guy, but he's the guy who's in charge. He's leading people. You really think these are people who are going to want to go back to the way society was, the standard rules, and the way that life works pre-breakout of this fungus? I don't think that through Joel's eyes, and maybe not even through Ellie's eyes, humanity and mankind was not worth saving. It was worth it to keep what you have, the only thing that he had, and that was Ellie. To protect her, even if it means lying to her and sheltering her from the truth. All he wanted to do was to save her, to protect her, keep her safe, and hold on to the only thing in the world left that he cares about. It's an extremely powerful game. Extremely powerful story. I loved every second of it. Instantly, The Last of Us, I don't know, it's hard to put it into words, just the instant reactions, but instantly I have to put it in one of my all-time favorites. The character interaction and relationship between Ellie and Joel, I don't think there's anything in video games that tops it. Maybe you do. Comment below if you think there's somebody else out there, or if you have different opinions on the ending. But that's my thoughts on the ending of the game, and the game as a whole. I absolutely loved it, and honestly, I'm a little sad. As soon as it ended, and, you get back to the start menu, and you see Ellie's knife sitting there on the windowsill, that one just tore my heart out of me, to see that again, because I had such a strong emotional connection with these characters. I miss it. I really do, and it kind of bums me out a little bit right now not to have it fresh, I guess. I need to restart. I really do. That's something I'm definitely going to be getting started on probably immediately after this video. because I miss it. And if there's a sequel, because some people are saying they left it as a cliffhanger, I didn't really think of it as a cliffhanger. I thought it was kind of nice how she nods and says, okay. She believes him. She is putting her trust and her faith in him because he's the only thing she has, just as she is the only thing he has. They have each other, and that's it. That's all they have to care about. She believes him, and she is willing to put her faith in him. And I don't think there needs to be another story. The Last of Us is perfect the way it is. We don't need anything else. Might there be something else later on? Sure, there probably will be. You know, there's 3 Uncharteds. So why not 3 Last of Us? I hope that they go and focus on somebody else. Like maybe Ish. You know, give us a different story. It doesn't have to be along the same lines of a cure. You know, give us a story of a rebuilding community. Or somebody who's doomed. And we know they're doomed. But they're fighting their hardest just to stay alive and just to get one more day. That's something I would love to see in this universe. So, if you haven't played the game, I don't know why you're watching this video, but go play it. And if you did play it, leave your reactions below, your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree with me on my opinions. I would love to know. And seriously, those giraffes, come on. What was your reaction? I want to know how long you sat there and waited and let them enjoy that moment. Because for me, I don't know, I would guess around 6 or 7 minutes, maybe. It was a long time. I wasn't ready to let go of it. I want to know how long you waited before you moved on. Because that was an amazing moment. Subscribe to my channel, please. Check out my other videos. I got a bunch of different stuff up here. And leave comments below. I would love to read what your thoughts on The Last of Us are. So, let me know, guys.